You are looking live at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which eked out, and I mean eked out, a tiny fractional gain today. It's just going sideways, which is fine. Just digesting this nice little rally that started. I was doing some homework on some charts, and I noticed that it was really challenging to try to make money in this little downturn. But since this day of September 6th, we've been in a nice strong uptrend, and you can see that the low of the session has been above the 21, which is this pink line for count them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. The 10 is through the 21. They're both rallied through the 50. So the short-term moving averages are above the longer-term moving averages. The index is now 3.8% above the downtrending 50. So that will start trending higher as we get above some of these obstacles here. 18017 was one, and of course we're looking at 671 to take out the old high. But it was up, 7 or 8 points today, 0.04%, closed at 18,082. So it's got some work to do. It has a gap to fill there at 386, 18,386. I know people complain about the volume. I can't do anything about the volume. There's a lot of uncertainty going on here at this time. Typically, September's a weak month, and especially during an election year. Historically, though, stock indexes that go up 10%, when the S&P is up 10% in an election year prior to the election, it usually has a good end of the year. So that's what I'm looking for. When I say it's going to take out the old high, I don't mean this week or this month, but probably by the end of the year, November, December rally will erase that. And I just take things one day at a time. Today was a good day, especially over in some of the stocks that I'm going to get to here in a minute. But I do want to show the Dow Jones, which took a little bit of a breather today. This one's been making new highs where you see the Nasdaq is pretty far off of its high. What about 600 points? So this one made a new high, then reversed today, which is fine. A little bit of a breather. Just still 0.4% above its 10 EMA. So that one looks like, the stronger index. The SPY making new highs. Yes. And then just a little breather day sideways. You can barely see that. This is tight trading action here this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not really moving a whole lot, which is good, digesting this gains from that September 6th day that I talk about. And then the IWM, it's just, the IWM, the problem with the IWM, the Russell 2000, is that when anytime a stock is doing well, it is taken out of this index and then it absorbs some of the weaker, stocks. And the Dow Jones, when stocks don't perform, it kicks them out and takes in some of the stronger stocks. So that's, the Dow Jones has an advantage that it's getting all the top performing stocks, and the Russell's, all the good stocks are being taken out of this one, and it's getting smaller and, not as strong as performing names. So, yeah, so the IWM, though, with the lower interest rates, there was conventional wisdom that the IWM was going to excel and, going to be a big winner, and it still might. It probably will. I mean, you got to give it time, 3 to 6 months out. But and also the biotechs were supposed to do well. They've been selling off too. So the market moves to fool, the majority. Nail, which is another one. The home builder was supposed to be strong because of the rates are coming down. This one sold off as well. In fact, it looked like it peaked the day after Powell made his announcement. But anyway, I digress there. Just wanted to get to some stocks and just show that the market does move to fool the majority. Anyway, this is Apple, and every day we're getting reports from analysts saying demand is, weak and demand is strong, and nobody knows. They're just guessing. And the chart looks like they're guessing, it's like it's all over the place. It's down, it's up, it's sideways. All it did today was pull back to its 10 EMA, and it found support there, bounced 0.7% above the 10. So not bad for Apple. Microsoft, once again, this thing's just forming a base. This is a nice cup with handle here. with the buy point of 441. This may appear on my ready list here in the not too distant future. Meta Platforms, they had an investor day today, kind of underwhelming. I mean, but the stock was still up. So, investors kind of like that. They're going to report earnings here in not too distant future here. We're less than a month away from these big tech companies reporting earnings once again. So, Meta Platforms, technically, this thing's, very strong. It's 3.4% above its 10 EMA, one of the stronger, if not the strongest, um, of the Magnificent Seven, if we're still calling them that. This is Tesla. It closed that gap there at the 245, just building out the right side of its base. This one looks pretty good as well. They're going to have delivery numbers. It was up, more than 1% today. That's pretty good with the Nasdaq just being flat, so it was just really a quiet day and just kind of a digestion period following these big gains that we've had recently. But I do expect, it to trend higher. Another one here is NVIDIA. Might as well go with the big AI stock. Yesterday it was reported that Jensen stopped selling. It, bounced off its 50. Today followed through 2%, not bad. It's up after hours, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to go to some of the, stronger names. I mean, today was just the utility day, the data center, energy, power, construction plays. That is what's working in this market. This is VST. I was just doing some homework today and some post analysis trade about, when we got into VST, it was, this downtrending line. And I think I had a buy point there at about $82, just around 80. And this thing has really taken off. Been a great trade for us. And now, so, you expected it to have trouble with 100. Nope. You expected it to shake out around the old standard buy point of 107.24. Nope. It's just going higher. 120 today. Now, certainly it could pull back and retrace back to this pivot area or even to the 100 area. Stocks, they're going to do whatever they want. But this one is showing real strength. And the giveaway here is the big blue, just wall of blue. This is power. This is investors jumping into this stock since the, announcement from CEG and Microsoft. This is another one. This one really kicked off this trade here. Obviously the index has been rallying too. So, you have the tailwinds from the index and you've got some deals and investors are just sucking these things in. 3.7% gain today for Constellation. Another, it just blew right through that pivot point. That's power from the pivot. And that's what you want to see with your stocks here. And if I go back to VST, it's kind of the same thing. It just blew through that pivot on, you know, uh, heavy volume. So those two are a couple of my faves in the area, but I do like GEV. This is an alternative energy. The other ones are kind of tied to nuclear, but there's still, energy plays. And this one is just, it was flat today, but man, you can see the breakout from that 185.50 area. It's just like, see you later. I'm out of here. Goodbye. That's a heck of a move. 185 to 255, we'll take that. And that's what you get, in a bull market or an uptrending market. Rotation, is flowing into these utility names now, and it'll flow out and into other areas soon enough. And that's why you got to take profits, just sit on these things. You're renting them. TLN, I believe this one pulled back. No, it didn't. Oh my God, it was up 2.5% today. When I looked at it, it was down earlier today when I wrote it down. And oh, here it is right at the beginning of the day, the first hour or so. It's giving you its daily range here. And then what happens? It breaks above the daily range right here and just trades higher. Wow. That's a really powerful stock. You can see the volume at the close there for a talent. So high volume closes we like up after hours. So guys, this is just a powerhouse. NRG, I believe I have it on the ready list this week. And it's just right near that standard buy point. This one's a little more tame. It's not going parabolic like these other ones. And, some people like that. It's a little easier to manage and hold and maintain. NRG, that one is doing quite well. Oh, another one that, we had on our ready list not too long ago. This is one of these data center plays, data center, construction, energy. Yeah, all looking good. Once again, we had this one on our ready list about 82 or 83, I believe, as it broke above its downtrend line right there. So we've had this a couple of weeks there around that 80 level. When it broke above on this session here, I want to say it was what, September, the 9th through the 13th week, and it's just been powering higher. So yeah, it could do exactly what VST did and just go right through that old pivot point, of 109.27. Just got to wait and see. It's up after hours too. I'm going to get to that later on. This is Jacob Solutions. I don't really talk about this one much. This is a construction company, and you could see, it has the ability to move, trade sideways, the ability to really move. Now it's consolidated, and just this week, breaking out of this base here, you can see the buy point at 152, and it's the high today was 154. Close at 99% of its daily range. We like that. That's what you call the hammer candle on the weekly. How about the daily? 98 on the daily. Yeah, so that looks really good. 152 would be the buy point. So that could show up on my ready list as well. Jacob's Solution. All right. A couple others in this group. One that I really like is Quanta. It made a new high today, then pulled back just near that, buy point 286. So you can see clearly here since the breakout, it's just it undercut the 50, then rallied, and it's making, new low, higher highs and higher lows. There was a high today. You can see just about every day it's a new high for Quanta. So that's the definition of an uptrend for Quanta Services, PWR. And this is Powell, which made a new high today, then reversed lower. So maybe these things will pull back a little bit as money rotates into AI stocks, the rest of this week. We'll have to wait and see. Just take it one day at a time. See where the money's flowing. But these utilities have just been on fire, and I think it's wise to take a little bit of profit here. And you can let them run. Like I say, if you've had a VST from what is it, $80 to 120, I mean, you got a 50% gain there. Don't be a hog, take some off, move it around, buy yourself something, or buy your significant other something. Okay, I'm looking at all right, the air conditioning stocks. Now this is a stock, this is fixed. It was up, $4 today, or 1.15%. But I wanted to point out, I had this on the ready list, a while back before the August 5th debacle, the date that will live in infamy. So I had it here, and then it's just a little teaser. It teased above it, right? So, okay, it's go time. I'm going to buy this. Then what happens? That's got to be late July here, early August, 359. Yeah, late August. What did I say, July? Late August. And then the sell-off, right? As the pullback undercuts the 50. So here's your August 50. That's what I was thinking about here. August 5, and it really sold off. Um, okay, get the track price, Marty. Yeah, August 5, it sold off, undercut. Well, it's down to 300. So it rallied back up, made this, little box, this Darvis box, and it looked like it broke above it. And it just did enough to trick us, to trick me, to fool me. It wasn't a faulty buy point, but it did fail. So if you're doing post analysis on your trade, you say, hey, I had a buy point at 352. I bought it. It went up a little bit, then shook me out as it traded back down to the 300 level, right? Did not quite get back to the August 5, but you got to get out when you're 5% loss. You can't take a greater loss than that, because this thing could have gone like this, right? And just undercut everything. So you don't know. So you take your 5% loss, but it undercut the 50 and then rallied back. So if you're paying attention, and if you like the stock and it comes right back through that 352 area, you could have bought it there and you'd be up $40. That means you just got to be open-minded and flexible and do post-analysis on your trades. Like, you bought right, but it failed. It undercut the 50 and came right back up. All this is telling you is that you were early. You didn't have the wrong stock or the wrong buy point. You were just early. And this is the shakeout and then the breakout. And we've seen a lot of that lately. So just do post-analysis on all your trades. and be intellectually honest. And usually, if I buy something and I get shaken out like that, it really burns me. So when it comes back through that buy point, I buy. So like I owned 100 shares here, and it comes back through, I'll buy like 110, just have a little more power when it moves higher, because this is a nice move here with volume, as you can see. All right, enough of that nonsense. We're going to move on to Train Technologies. For the folks at MC Stock Charts, I give a couple of examples of some winning trades and some losing trades, and just doing some analysis on why it went wrong. Oftentimes, it's your entry point and or the headwinds from the market is why you fail, and the tailwinds from the market is why you succeed. In the market, Mr. Market M in Can Slim has a great uh, impact on your trading success or failures. This is a train making new highs today, just pointing this out. CARR, these things did the same thing here with the buy point. And then the shakeout, the 66.50 looked like it was going to go higher, then you get shaken out to 61. Once again, when it rallies back through, you can buy more. And now today it was up, 81 something. So that's a nice trade, 66 to 81. Anyway, these things are looking good. The last one I want to show is MOD. Similar, concept here is it had this buy point at 109, shook everybody out, then rallied up, then shake out again, undercut, and then rallied right through the 121 buy point. I had this one on the ready list earlier, but I haven't been putting this on here recently because I've been looking at other stuff that have been doing well. Speaking of which, APP, we're going to the software names. App Lovin', definitely, breakout here, 91.91. I say you always want to buy leaders. If there's a leader in the software group, App Lovin' is, at the top of the class here. It doesn't take long to call roll. When you're looking like this is 91 to 130, so a $40 move. It's getting to be roughly a 50% move here for App Lovin', just ripping higher. We love this move here. Yeah, it's extended from, it's 10 EMA, it's 8.6% above it, but it's catching up quickly. And if it just goes sideways or pulls back for a couple sessions, this thing will not pull back. This is a Tom Petty, won't back down. We had one day where it pulled back, but if it would just hang out here at 130, please, and just for a couple of sessions, I mean, this is stock in demand. Let this 10 catch up, and then maybe take off to 140 next week. But this is a super strong stock. And you can see right here the wall of blue, these big skyscrapers. So investors are buying that. That's not Aunt Sally buying that stock. ZETA, this one made a new high today. I believe it pulled back. Yeah, that's fine. Really strong stock. Allow the moving averages to catch up. ZETA is absolutely fine. It made a new high of 30.47, pulled back. You can see it's 4.1% above the 10. So it's a little stretched, not crazy stretch like some of the utility names. Some other oh gosh, I've got to show Duolingo and Spotify. These two are just hammering higher. Duolingo is up to 297 today, so it's approaching that 300 after that 215 pivot point. You can see the double bottom base, clear double bottom here. Pattern rec picks this up right around 215, and then it's off to the races, right? Wow, that's a heck of a move. And that's the type of stuff you get in an uptrending market, and you want to own winners. You want to own AppLovin and Duolingo, and Spotify is finally moving after all this time. It was at 331 for a long, long time. It was sticking around there. Let me get my trusty little, yeah, since June. So June to September, 3 months of consolidation sideways, teeter-totter around that buy point. And now it breaks to higher ground, Stevie Wonder style, 359.38, call it 360 now. So a nice $24 move for Spotify. Some other names in the software group. PRGS, Progress Software, they reported earnings last night. They raised guidance, a nice 12% move. So, that's one not to be ignored. that will be on my ready list. And if you look at the weekly on this, that's a breakout from a long consolidation here, 57 weeks. It's got 23% depth in the base. Classic breakout here with volume. That looks really good for progress software. Probably going higher than that 6392. All right. Other software names, PEGA. This is PEGA Systems. You can see it's right near that buy point. And this is one that should show up on our ready list pretty soon. It traded down to its 50, got found support, kind of, floundered around here, a little wallowing, and now the last three sessions, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, bam, bam, bam. And you could see the volume here last week on the options expiration, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Pegasystems, I would not ignore this. You could see the group is a top 10 group. And you can see the breakout here from consolidation. This looks really good to me. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm just looking at technically at it. So anyway, I could dig in more if you like. Roblox. This is a long period of consolidation. I was going to put this on our ready list at the beginning of the week. I didn't. It's up 3.5%. Boo-hoo. Still actionable, I believe, and I'm going to put this one on. I think, at that 47.20 area looks enticing. Last couple sessions had above average volume. So Roblox. I'm going to move on from the software names and go to the biotech names. Some of these biotechs are just ripping. This is a CAPR. It's had a day not to be ignored for this one day here was 18% on Monday, 52% on Tuesday, 13% on Wednesday. That's kind of my 3-day rule. It should take a breather after 3 days, but just pointing out strength in a tape that's it was flat today, no doubt about it. This is Tectonic Therapeutic, very thinly traded stock, but it was up 21% move. That was something that I would not touch. Something that I would is RNA. This is Avidity Biosciences, has a buy point. I had an early entry buy point. I liked it. As it broke above its downtrend line, the problem with this is it was below its 50. So I had to wait. See, it broke above its downtrend line, but it's below at 50, then it rallied above, now pulled back to it. Today it bounced off it. So this one's trading tight within a base. You can see 24% depth in that base, 41 days. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly. Yeah, I still like this, consolidating in a base. Does it have the ability to move? I think it does. Look at that move. So I'm not taking my eyes off of RNA. Now, my last one in the speculative biotech world is Revolution, and this one's trading tight within a base, also undercutting its 50, rallying back above, undercutting, rallying. I kind of like it there. I'd say above the 45.85, but you can only have so much speculative biotech in your portfolio because it's the outhouse or the penthouse, and usually it's the outhouse with these. It's a lot of people like to point out their big wins, but there's a lot of losses in between those big wins in the biotech world. Okay, I'm going to move on to Uber and Dash. Uber is consolidating within a base. I kind of like this consolidation. It gapped up on Tuesday, pull back a little bit today. I like Uber, but I like Dash more. Dash is consolidated with this cup with handle and now moved higher. We had this at MC stock charts on our ready list there at that standard 131.21. But if you look at the weekly, you can see this big, this is kind of like an IPO base, went through the bear market. And now it looks to me like a classic breakout from some of the model book stocks. I would not be surprised. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would not be surprised if this is a real big winner and trades back above these old highs here. That would not surprise me at all. 257, this is a long way to go. I'm not saying it will, but I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. That's a classic look when you look at these, the model book stocks from past years gone by. Okay, a couple other stocks I want to point out in the leisure services. One is DraftKings. I'm not a big DraftKings fan. Just acknowledging that it has rallied through its 200, had a pretty nice day today. And then FLUT, this one we did have on our Reddit list at MC Stock Charts. It broke out. To me, I mean, if I own this, this is disappointing action today. I know the market was weak today, but and it did move up, 5%, but it closed, 8% of its daily range. So this thing's got to bounce tomorrow. Maybe it wants to come back and fill that gap. But they had a buyback program of like 5 billion and they raised guidance and had really positive things to say about going forward. And just a random walk here of some names here. CRS, this is one that I've had on my Reddit list, I think 2 weeks ago or maybe even last week. I bought this one. As it bounced off its 50 and then powered through the pivot. This thing looks phenomenal to me. Top stock in the top group. This is the kind of stuff I like. It's got the earnings profile, not really the sales. 5% sales doesn't really do it for me, but technically this looks fantastic. FLS is another one that I like. That I buy it? No. Did I put it on the ready list? No, but I like this stock there at 5209. You can see that the undercut of the 50, undercut of the 200 rallied back through both those levels, took off yesterday, tried to follow through today, but then pulled back. So that's not exactly a great action there. Traded up to 53.86 and closed at 6% of its daily range. So, but definitely, making highs and showing strength. AGX, this is another one of these construction stocks. Gap tire formed a shelf, pulled back to the 10, now blasting higher, making new highs. So that one looks good. See if it has trouble with that psychological 100 level. And then CTAS, these guys reported earnings this morning, had a nice move, made a new high. This kind of looks like an ascending base with all these pullbacks here, but this thing is just finding support. Kelly Slater stock, they have this is kind of like a proxy for our economy because they do all of these, fire suits, firemen, policemen, hotel, restaurant, linens, tablecloths, bed sheets, just all businesses that have things laundered. Cintas is all in that, right? 1 million clients worldwide. So that's why I say this is I kind of look at this stock as in FedEx too, and some of these others, Amazon of course, and Apple, but this is a kind of a proxy for our economy, and this is doing pretty well. Yeah, I mean, kind of the not the tech economy, kind of like your business economy. So anyway, Cintas, commercial services outsourcing. I don't think that's right. 50% short interest. I don't think so. But I'll have to look more into this. This is definitely, I mean, it depends on your time frame. If you're a long-term guy, I mean, this this thing has rewarded you, from what was this in '09 when we came out of the financial crisis, you have $4 stock now at 207. So Cintas has been fantastic. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up. In honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing, and that is Micron reported tonight, and after hours, it's going gangbusters. Um, I've been mentioning this stock for a while here because I believe it's been making this bottom. If I maybe have to go to the 30-minute chart now, as it made this low, it kept retesting these lows, right? Undercut it a little bit, but it couldn't be pushed any lower at that 85 level here. I believe the low, yeah, 85.27, 85, constantly 85. Then it rallied up, then came back and undercut this low at 84.12. And that's as far as they could push it down. It just kept finding support there. And so if you can't push it down any further, I mean, this thing went from 157 to 84. So all of the bad news was priced in, and this is a cyclical business. So you can see by their earnings line here, and this will be recalibrated tomorrow. But in a cyclical business, yeah, it goes up and then it goes down, and now we're starting a new cycle higher. This cycle is going to last for years. This is part of an AI play. So I'm not going to say that, uh, let me put this correctly. Micron is a leader and they're selling everything they make, like NVIDIA. And so when you get a sell-off like that, that's usually a gift in an uptrending market. I am not really good at defining bottoms or picking bottoms or buying stocks below their moving averages. I like strength, and it looks like if it can trade through these moving averages, I would definitely be interested, in buying this thing. I don't like buying after hours, but if it could take out the 111 there, with some strength, which I think it will probably do, then I'd say that would be a nice, since it undercut the prior base, this is a stage one base here. So if it can, break out of that box, yeah, I'm definitely interested in Micron. So they, fantastic report. That's why I took a little time today to read through it. Earnings growth phenomenal. Yeah, these numbers will be recalibrated tomorrow as well. But you can see it just started a new trend there. It was negative, then 16, then 58, then 82. So that's the kind of trend you like. And it shouldn't be doing this. Maybe it got a little bit ahead of itself here in anticipation of this new cycle. But this here was just a ridiculous, sell-off. And it was an opportunity for people, obviously, as it trades around 109 and after hours. So I'll have more in the morning for you on this one. I think it's a really important name. And I showed you, this is going to power stocks like NVIDIA. It's going to help this AI cohort, SMCI. Everybody's forgot about SMCI. Should help stocks like that. And Dell. And you can see that's up a little bit after hours and Pure Storage. Um, yeah, that's going to carry these. I think Micron is a big name, and these are moving after hours as well. Wow, Seagate looks pretty good there. Yeah, just nice forming this nice space. So maybe if you want an auxiliary play and don't want to chase something super hot, maybe you just go for you know Seagate as it trades above that 107 area. Anyway. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. At mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you for watching.